Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special dev scene again with one of my players. My name is Mare. I use they, she pronouns. I am your game master of Fraying Threads. Gilly, before we get started, would you like to say hello, who you are playing, and so on and so forth?
Yes, hello, my name is Gilly. My pronouns are she, her, and you can find me most places on the internet at Oh Look It's Gilly. I am playing Lace, who is a bizarre ardent of the Order of Weavers who splinters into fragments and who recently has been going through it,
Just a
I
little
think it's
bit.
fair to say.
Just a little bit of a smidge. If this is your first time tuning into a developmental scene, Invisible Sun has allows for side scenes such as this to exist outside of the main games. So we're gonna have some one-on-one time with Lace today. Before we get started, as a reminder, Invisible Sun in general has and contains themes that might not be suitable for all audiences, so please be safe. Take your, if you need to step away, please do so, especially at this point in the game because it's getting really hard and heavy. While I don't think, and this game specifically, while I don't think it's going to show up in this episode, contains content warnings specifically are manipulation, body horror, and substance abuse, though this one might be a little bit of emotionally heavy. Okay. This dev scene takes place between episodes 10 and 11 of the main campaign. And as a quick recap, episode 10, at the very end, our players decided to confront a young woman by the name of Thara, who is a custodian at the Silent Church, which is a type of religion that just reveres the creator of the legacy, the person who cast the spell and brought the actuality into reality. However, poor Thara was used, and she got torn apart by inanimate birds, which then proceeded to attack Lace specifically, and at the very end of the game, stole the shard belonging to her friend Frankie, and fucked off with it, leaving many wounds for Lace in the process.
It was very ow.
It was extremely ow. That thing does 8 points of damage.
It hurt.
It really hurt. So, Gilly, where are we picking up? What has happened in these last several days since you left the Silent Church and brought Thara to the hospital? You also got brought to the hospital for a little bit of healing magics because Ray was not going to let you just bleed out.
Yes. And I imagine that over the course of a day or two,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get out of the hospital. Because there is a certain point in healing when you just have to do the thing, and it's not really like they can
Yes.
do any more for you.
Yeah. And this is also like
Especially because
magical healing too.
right, so maybe even sooner than that. But I think Lace was probably delivered to her home in some fashion. I have to assume that Tall Ray,
Tall Ray.
was probably part of the like, let's get you home and in bed crew.
Probably.
Um, and I think that Lace has pretty much been there since then. Like, I don't think she's left her home. And part of it is that it hurts a lot because she got skewered by birds. And part of it is that she just doesn't really want to face outside.
Shard has been stuck to your side the entire time. When you are laying down, he is not on the wound, but he is laying on you, purring constantly to make you feel better. The only time he gets up is to chase Moliere the fuck out.
Yes, Moliere, our friend the mole, who probably like stops by, I think, several times to just be like, hey, partially accidentally, but also like, oh hey, and Shard is just like
I think after like the first time's an accident, and then like then he gets chased out. I think the third time he actually uses the door and brings you tea. He's like, sorry for just busting in. Here's an apology. Hope you feel better.
Oh, Lace says thank you. And drinks the tea. Is it good tea? No. She says it's great.
It's the thought that counts.
She says it's great. She says it's the best tea she's ever tasted.
Tastes like dirt.
Oh. Yeah, she says that it's perfect. And goes back to bed. And I think like even when the donut bike goes by, yes. Normally she would be excited about that. It's kind of like when the ice cream truck sound happens and she's like, oh, time for, I call it ice lollies because I grew up in England, but time for a popsicle. But she's just not interested.
And before we continue the scene, because I always frickin' forget.
Oh yeah.
The card pull. All right. For this dev scene, I have pulled the Raven. A value of 6. Secrets, ravens, books, and flames, meanings jealousy, sight, and trickery. Companion to the Secrets family, the Raven sees everything and tells nothing. The Raven is smarter and wiser than it ever lets on. Its intelligence, however, manifests in its crafty solutions to problems. Some might use the word cheating, in fact. The Raven's weakness is greed and jealousy. It wants what you have, and that probably means your secrets. Can you keep them from its watchful eyes? Is it even worth trying? This is a companion card, but since this is just a dev scene, I am not going to pull another card right now.
Okay.
Actually, I can't remember what it does, but I'm not going to pull another card. So you are home. You are being quote-unquote pampered by your neighbor Moliere and Shard, and depressed.
Yes.
Maybe like on the end of the second day or sometime during the third day, you do get a knock at your door.
Shard, can you get the door?
Yeah, I can get the door. Do you want me to let them in, or is it gonna be like dependent on who it is?
If they look like they want to stab me, don't let them in.
Okay, but what about other people?
That's fine.
Okay, visitors are okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Shard prances off to the front door, like echoing throughout your house, because it is like inside a cliff, and I'm imagining it's a little cavernous.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the front door open, and then you hear it close, and then you hear the pitter-patter of Shard's tiny feet on the floor, along with a pair of two-legged footsteps.
Sure. That narrows down my visitors.
A lot. Some people float.
Some people do, in fact, float.
Eventually, Shard pushes the door back open, and you see Ray. But not Big Shark Ray, your friend. You see Short Ray, your friend that is part of the Hendasa. And she is holding a box and a little caddy of drinks.
Oh.
Shard said you might need company.
And I think that Lace just gives Shard, like, a look.
Hey, don't look at me like that. You are just moping around, and I can only do so much. My purring is not helping me. And she has thumbs to carry treats.
You always go for the thumbs.
He just holds up his paws.
Fine, it's fine. Yeah, you can.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
She'll walk in. Are you like in bed still? Or are you on a couch?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
She
straight up in bed.
pajamas? Pajama time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she's got like a oversized t-shirt and shorts on that like it's one of those like off the shoulder t-shirts that's like way too big for her.
Oversized t-shirts seem like a lace vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So she does come in and she puts down the like box on your like bedside table along with like the caddy full of like 3 different cups. And when she gets closer, you see that it is pastries from a local bakery.
Lace is interested in the pastries, so we'll like sniff.
Are you doing okay? Shard said you got hurt and I was really worried.
I'm fine. It's I got impaled a little bit, but
I'm sorry you were you what?
there were some birds. They were bad birds, let me tell you. They were not nice birds.
Do you want to like talk about it or
Historically, the answer to that question is pretty much always no, but I do actually need to tell you something.
do we want food first and then talk about it, or is it going
That
to be
depends. What kind of pastries did you bring?
I brought mostly like puff pastries, the flaky stuff with filling.
Good. I want one with chocolate.
Yes, I did get a chocolate eclair.
Okay, I will have that. And I think that Lace takes like a huge bite, and it's like I don't know like what the state of her wound is, and like but it probably hasn't been the easiest thing in the world to eat mostly for the last couple of days. She got real stabbed. And so it's like she's eating slowly, but she's clearly really enjoying it.
Do you want to stay in bed or do you want to like go to the kitchen? I did bring drinks. I brought a couple options, a coffee, a tea, and a cocoa.
I'll start with the tea.
Okay.
We can go to the kitchen. I just move a lot slower.
That's okay. We can stay here if you want to heal like a little bit more.
Well, mostly. I think if I stay here too long, I won't be able to get up again.
Okay.
I'll just have like melted into the bed, you know.
I have heard of stories of people actually being consumed by their beds and disappearing into the comfy abyss.
Oh, that is such Visley bullshit.
It is. It was terrifying, and I'm glad I was not on the case to get them back.
Yeah. Thank you for the pastries.
You're welcome.
And the tea and the coffee and the hot chocolate.
Do you want help getting up, or you want me to just carry shit?
Carry shit.
Okay. She'll gather everything back up and follow you to the kitchen.
Yeah, and I think it takes some time. Like, Lace is moving very gingerly and also is trying to avoid, like, I know Shard is being extra careful, but you know how cats just sometimes cannot help but be underneath your feet?
Gilly, our black cat literally walks and flops in front of us on the stairs while going down the stairs. My partner got a video. We have almost died.
See, is this affection or attempted murder?
With him, it's
Who can
probably
say?
affection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's walking gingerly for multiple reasons, and she eventually gets to like the counter and kind of leans.
You mind if I take the coffee?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. She plucks the coffee and gets her own fruit pastry out of the thing. And just like starts eating it, waiting for you to start. She's not gonna pry.
Oh, Lace finds that extra annoying because she really doesn't want to bring it up, but she knows. Like, I feel like they've had this battle of wills before.
Like she's trying to be respectful, but also just like, you know.
When the bird stabbed me, they took Frankie's shard.
Did you previously tell her you got the shard? I think you did, right?
Yes, she knew that
That's right.
She knew that I
We
had
had
it.
we had the whole scene. Duh, Mare.
No, you're fine. I think she knew that I had it, but at that point, Lace had no idea what she was gonna do with it, except like try and keep it out of sight. Like that was really her only plan.
When you say that, like she like straight up freezes and like half the pastry halfway to her mouth, and she's like, "Wait, are you fucking serious?"
I splinter into fragments when I'm attacked. Like, what better opportunity would there be
I know,
for
but
someone
like,
to take?
I'm so sorry. That's not
No.
fucking fair.
No, it really is.
Especially after you went back in time to get it.
It just feels like all of this bullshit is stacked against me, against us. And it's like, what am I supposed to do, you know?
I can tell you what I would do.
Light something on fire? Because I'm not rolling that out.
It's in that range of violence, yes. I was thinking more of like punchy with some
I wish.
some brass knuckles on. But I'm short, so I go for the kneecaps.
Right. Well, you need the steel-toed boots. We were trying to find our next step, and it was a trap. And I should have seen it coming, and I didn't. But who thinks that, oh, this person we're talking to is gonna turn into a bunch of birds and then attack? Like, who does that? Who?
Visley, actuality bullshit, and people who do that, heartless dicks. Like,
I mean,
like, you and your friends, at least from what I can see, you know them better than I do, don't seem like the type of people that would ever do something like that. So usually, like, thinking that something like that would happen is usually not like on the mental radar. So, like, please don't blame yourself.
I mean, of course I blame myself. It's my fault. I was like, of course I'll go to this place with this shard. I mean, if I put it somewhere else, they probably would have just come there. Like if it was here, they probably would have come here. But I'm mad at myself, but I don't know what the alternative is. Like, if they're everywhere, where is safe? Like, is here safe? Is anyone safe?
Are you going to try and get it back?
I don't even know where to look.
She kind of crosses her arms. Any way I can help?
I mean, aside from finding where angel birds go, I don't really know that there's a solution.
Do you know anything about the person behind it? Like, I know you told me a little bit last time we talked, but
it's an angel who is
an angel.
Dick.
Are angels supposed to be all like, I'm high and mighty and I'm gonna protect you?
Well, I have no doubt that this angel thinks that they're protecting something, but
oh wait,
whatever it is, it certainly isn't us.
They're like one of those types of people, like for the greater good type thing.
I have to assume so. I mean, why else would they fuck with us like this?
And like the fuck with the like someone's life.
Well,
lives, maybe yours, Frankie's.
I've been thinking about magic, right?
Yeah.
I think this angel believes that certain circumstances, magical circumstances, will lead to whatever their desired outcome is, right? The path that they want. the
Right.
actuality to take.
They think they're doing the right thing, basically. The short version.
But it can't be anyone else, right? It has to be Frankie's shard that they take, because why else would they come after that specifically?
And also, why Frankie's shard specifically? Like, why not yours or like another person who splinters?
I don't know. I know that he's important to me. He's important to us, but like, no offense to him, he's not like someone who I would consider a target specifically.
Like a warden of one of the sons. They're not like that.
To my knowledge, he is not a warden of one of the sons.
I would be very surprised if they were. Also, I would be very impressed.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this wouldn't be happening in the same way if that were the case, because it wouldn't be up to me. Everyone else would be pissed off too.
A warden would curb stomp an angel.
Maybe that's the answer.
Can we just imagine that for a second to feel some like vindictive satisfaction?
Let's take a moment.
I don't know what this angel looks like, but I am imagining the warden of the Red Sun, a being of damage and destruction, punching this angel in the face and it being obliterated.
That is very rewarding.
That felt good.
Do you remember most of Shadow?
Kinda. I get a lot. Like, I'm back and forth all the time, you know? Like,
sure.
All the time. So I'm always in that weird walking the knife's edge of remembering both. Does that make sense? Because when you're there, it's just pressing on you and trying to pull you back and make you forget about what actually exists. But overall, I do. Why?
I think I remember a lot more than most people do.
It's always a mixed bag, at least from my experience when I've brought people back.
When I was doing my first tattoos in Shadow, I would get super nervous. Like, my hands would shake a little. And Frankie told me that the best way was just to concentrate all of your confidence and your sense of self on the first moment. Because once you got to that moment, it would carry you through. You would get there and you would immediately realize that the things that you were afraid of weren't going to happen. But I've been trying to bluff my way through this for weeks and months, and bad things keep happening. And I don't know what to do.
Do you want suggestions, or is this going to be like, here, Ray, please let me vent and get my emotions off my chest so I could feel better type situation? Because the last thing I want to do is like throw things on you if you're not feeling it.
What is it that friend of yours says? Why not both?
Okay. You let me know when you're done venting and then I can help. We can troubleshoot together.
I mean, I keep coming up with plans, and sometimes they even work, right? I keep coming up with theories, and sometimes they're even true. But if something has What if something is just more powerful than I am?
Get
It's
just as
like
powerful friends?
powerful friends or powerful self. I feel like, when the winds come and all the birds are buffeted,
Yeah.
and eventually they just have to hang on and stay still and hope that it will pass. Well, I don't think that staying still is going to work for me any more than any of the things that I've already done are going to work for me. But this is something larger than I am, but I also don't want to forget the things that I need.
She puts down her coffee and like she's on like the opposite side of you and like takes your hands in yours. If it's bigger than you and you're being buffeted around by this wind, you should be a goose. What if you are getting smacked around by something bigger than you?
I should honk at it a lot in the face.
You know, that would probably scare him a little bit. But what I'm trying to get at is do the tactics that geese do when they're flying. Get someone in front of you to break up the wind so you can do what you need to do and get through this. Which also falls back to getting bigger friends. I know it's a silly analogy, but it got you to smile.
I know. I kind of like it. I kind of like the idea of embracing my inner goose.
Terrifying. And have you seen a goose over here yet?
No.
More terrifying than Canadian geese.
I just like videos in which people refer to them as Cobra-Chickens.
I didn't realize they're called Cobra-Chickens.
I feel like that's just like, it's kind of like referring to like snakes as danger noodles.
Yes. But yeah, silly analogy, but the concept is still the same, and it made you smile.
No, I mean, I like it. It's hard without a focus, right? When I know where something is, I can go and I can grab it. That's what was helpful about the traveling back in time. I knew a place, I knew a time where I could go get the thing.
And you
right?
did it.
I did it. And then
you did it very well. Even though
it fucked me over.
Yeah, it fucked you over, but like, think of it this way. I'm looking at this like a game of the Spiders game. How much do you play the Spiders game, Lace, by the way?
Not at all.
Okay.
Like,
does Gilly remember what it is?
No.
Okay, so the Spiders game...
It contains the word spiders there, which means that automatically my brain blocked it out.
Okay, so for the player Gilly, the Spiders game is a game mainly played by weavers, mostly played by weavers, though anyone can learn it and anyone can play it. It's like 4D chess on steroids, and can have anywhere between like 4 to 9 game boards in play at once. Weavers mostly play it, so you would probably at least know of it. But
I feel like Lace has won one game in her life and decided to ride that high to like her death. Is like,
you could never beat my win record if you never play again.
Exactly. That is Lace's strategy.
Okay. You have 100% win rate. And
I have 100% win rate.
But anyway, back to Short Ray. I'm thinking like this, like the Spiders game. You take your moves, they take your moves, and you're always changing your strategy to get ahead later. What's the end goal? Not in the spider's game. Obviously, the end goal in the spider's game is to win, but what is the end goal in regards to this entity that you are all dealing with?
I guess stop it from fucking with people.
And in order to stop it fucking with people, how do you do that? What is that win condition?
I mean, I guess I don't like to think of it, but does it have to die, or does it have to be depowered, or does it have to be convinced that this is not the right way to do things? I mean, are angels rational creatures? I mean, turning someone into birds is not I would argue is not a rational
I would tend to agree.
course of action. Like, Sophrona accepted. Sophrona can turn things into birds as a treat.
Sophrona turns stuff into birds?
Sometimes. It's very complicated. Technically, I guess Ray made the birds, and then Sophrona brought them to life. But anyway, that's not the point.
Question for you, Gilly. I don't think I did, but did I ever say what kind of withLace Ray was?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't think I did. Okay, in that case, I am assigning her as an apostate right now.
Okay.
Not as any of the 4 orders. Okay. So the goal is to keep it from fucking with all of you. I know goetics, just like how I know you, a couple other Vances, and a couple other makers. To stop it from fucking with you could mean a couple different things. The most drastic being killing it. I don't know how you all feel about that, but I got to at least put that idea into existence.
I mean, quite frankly, I'm not opposed to it at this stage, but I don't know that I can.
Okay. You can go the goetic route and force it into some kind of obedience contract.
I mean, that has appeal, but I also don't know if we have the power to do that, and also it feels kind of icky.
Yeah, it does feel really icky. You could seal it away.
Sure.
That will probably need, like, the assistance of a goetic and maybe a maker, depending on how you want to seal it away.
Binding it.
Yeah. Or, what's the last one? Not that I know how to do this one, but, like, I'm just thinking back to Shadow on some of the shows I've watched. You can go a la Aang Avatar The Last Airbender style and take away its bending.
I mean, is that a thing that can happen? That I can do?
I don't know about that one. That would just be trying to come up with other options for you.
No, I mean, it has appeal. It has a kind of, like... I'm trying to think of one of the stories where that happens that isn't Avatar The Last Airbender, and I'm just failing to. But,
it's a good show.
You have to... It's a really good show. You have to live with your choices now and live as the people you've hurt. That has appeal.
Emotional
damage. It feels like a big emotional damage. It has Ella Enchanted. That's what I was thinking of.
Also good.
Make her live as a squirrel for a little bit. They make her live as a human. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted.
I liked the book better than the movie.
I did like the book better than the movie, but I also thought the movie wasn't terrible.
Oh no, the movie was good, but like for like
it wasn't
a book adaptation, it was pretty good.
Yes, I thought they did a good job, but I do like the book better. I think there was more nuance in the book.
Anyways, we got sidetracked.
We got very sidetracked. If I could strip an angel of its powers, first of all, that would probably be enough to get me to a 4th level weaving, because, like, That would be pretty dope.
What does that have to do with your aggregates?
I don't know. I don't know. Destroy endings. I don't have the list in front of me. I'm just spitballing.
Ray just shrugs.
But anyway, that's not the point. That's not my focus right
No,
now.
focus.
It's just kind of I'm gonna focus. I think the sugar is kicking in is really what's happening. I don't know how to strip a being of its power.
There's gotta be a spell somewhere. Or like a ritual. Or along those lines. My other question is, this angel, do you know if it's doing it of its own accord?
No. But I also don't know how to find that out without, like, calling them up and asking.
You'd also need a pretty strong goetic to do that, sounds like.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm trying to think of other ways to find out. I think Lace is, like, more animated now because this is problem-solving mode, which is where Lace thrives.
Yes.
And, like, sad girl hours are fine, but they are not.
They're not productive.
They're not productive. Lace likes being productive. So I need to find a spell to strip beings of power, which also feels kind of like a goetic thing.
Not really. It's more of like a magic type thing, because goetic summon, right? So unless they summoned an entity that could do that, probably not. So this might be like a research mode to try and find something.
I love research mode. Research mode is my favorite.
It's great. I love it. And if you need help, I will help you.
Do you want to come to the library with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one?
We'll look into I don't know. Which one is most likely to let me look at books that want to rip power from things?
I don't think any of the libraries in Fartown are going to have what you're looking for. My suggestion is going to Mentors. And Lace, you would know Mentors Library. I believe it's in Rive River. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But Mentors Library is the largest library in the city. No one knows how big it actually is. It employs like about 500 individual librarians that all like know their own specific areas of the library. And it's so large and so cavernous that people have gotten lost in there, and their descendants are living in there, and they're called people of the stacks.
That's absurd.
It's ridiculous. But yes, it's fucking massive.
Sure, it's got to be in there somewhere, right?
There's got to be something in there.
So we're looking for taking power. We're looking for maybe ways to find out, like, if a contract exists or if this creature is being controlled. But I don't know if we can find a spell for that or if we just have to, like,
force it to yield.
Sure. Well, I mean, if we drain this thing of power and then find out that it was not the biggest bad, that there was an even bigger and more awful bad.
That's kind of shitty. Yeah.
That would be kind of shitty. I mean, my only guess is that...
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, my only guess is that Sophrona might be able to find out if she can, like...
Maybe. You can always put it in a pocket watch. I had a great uncle who threw a demon into a knife once.
That was a lot of nouns that I did not expect to be in the same sentence.
Pocket watch, demon, knife.
Yeah.
Uncle.
Cool. I guess maybe I could go shopping and get a pocket watch, or...
I was just throwing pocket watch out as a random noun. I don't think it needs to be a pocket watch.
Well, let's see. What would be appropriate? An appropriate object to trap a thing in. maybe I will ask Aspen.
A bird cage.
That's pretty good.
Listen, I have a friend who has like a
Who's
tattoo
a
of
bird?
No. She has a tattoo of a bird cage on her forearm, and she puts people in it.
That's fucked up.
She doesn't do it unless she's in danger. But yes, it is fucked up. I'm just throwing out examples.
I mean, the tattoo trap does appeal to me as someone.
Also, it's really nice ink. I think you would like the artsmanship.
I kind of want to meet this person just for like kicks now.
Yeah, I can introduce you to M sometime.
Because in this universe, Lace does not have tattoos, but in Shadow, Lace was covered.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Well, because she had like the cracks, like the.
I like that. That's so cool.
Yeah, not all of them probably, because there's
right.
other stuff, but like at least like a sleeve of them.
Sleeve of broken glass. That's so cool.
Yeah, right. Also pointy. But anyway. Okay, well, I do feel better about this. Now that there's something like action, like I don't do well with an action, right? Like,
yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't like just sitting around waiting for the tower to fall. You know?
I mean, if the tower's already fallen, I guess the only thing left is just for the earth to cave in on itself.
Better start learning how to fly so we don't fall in.
That is actually on my to-do list.
Flying?
Be a goose.
Oh, perfect. Let's go. Hey, I'm sure you can weave a spell for flight.
I probably can. I actually promised that I would for my neighbor who really wants to fly.
That's adorable. The dodos?
I don't know how to put it. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I want to put it in an item though, so I'm probably gonna have to talk to Aspen about how I could do that. But I want to give them the opportunity if I can. I've gotten the teleporting down. The teleporting is fine. The flying is.
You can do it.
A little more tricky.
You can do it.
Probably, or I'll get skewered on something again.
No,
but,
we're done with skewering. No, we're going upward flight. We are going to be dodging any and all spikes at the bottom of the pit.
When the barbecue skewers you.
You don't get skewered. You skewer the skewer. Okay, that doesn't make sense.
No, but I like it anyway.
Okay, so you have options. I think you're gonna get Frankie's shard back.
Really?
Yeah, I do. You wanna know why?
Why?
Because a bunch of us are stubborn fucks.
That really does work with the goose analogy. Be the Cobra-Chicken you wish to see.
You want to go to Mentors soon?
Yeah.
Okay. Might not be a bad thing to get a couple more eyes just because of how large Mentors is.
Yeah, apparently.
Have you been there before?
I don't know that I've like in passing, but I've never like actually researched something.
Not actually been like past the first couple bookshelves.
Right. The part where it's like go beyond here and we like sign a waiver because
they don't make you sign waivers.
Well, that's their mistake.
Like I've gone down a little bit to the point where I've seen like actual dirt and fungi. It's, yeah. It's a lot once the deeper
Yeah.
you go.
You would think that the books would get musty.
Oh no, there are definitely musty books.
Well, maybe one of them holds the answer.
I hope so. Do you want me to leave the box here? And she motions to the rest of the pastries.
You may take one.
I'm okay, thank you. I'm gonna take the muffin.
If there are any that Shard can eat that won't kill him, like Lace will put one aside, and then we'll take the box back to bed with her when Ray leaves.
She got one plain croissant for Shard with like a little bit of sugar.
Love that.
And she also leaves the hot cocoa for you as well.
Thank you. You're my favorite.
No, you're my favorite. And if you want help when it comes down to showtime, let me know. Because I will have Cicero on standby to get Frankie. So as soon as you get it back, we can finish this and get it over with. And we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Thank you.
She gives you a hug before she leaves if you are amenable to hugs.
Yeah, and I think Lace does the air kisses.
Oh, mwah, mwah.
Mwah, mwah.
All right, call me. Well, I don't have a phone. I don't know if you have a phone. But get in contact with me. Send a letter, something. Something through the
Sure.
news sphere.
We'll go tomorrow or the day after that. One of those days.
She nods. All right. I'm going to go home, take a shower, and I'll see you soon.
Love you, bye.
Bye, I love you. Gilly, is there anything else that you would like to do?
I mean, aside from eventually going to the library, I think Lace is just generally like, this has picked up her mood, so she's like now reorganizing her conspiracy board and like playing with Shard more. Like Shard,
Yes.
I imagine, has no shame about like wanting all the attention all the time.
He's a
And
cat.
so she's doing her best now. Like Shard has been caring for her, so she makes an effort to like keep Shard happy.
Such a good cat mom. You're so good.
Listen. This is a very important cat.
He's the best cat.
And I think that aside from planning that trip or going on that trip, that's like her new focus. She does best when she has a focus.
Perfect. All right. In that case, I think this is a good place to end it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, why don't you tell us who you are, where we can find you, and so on and so forth.
My name is Gilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Gilly on Twitter and on Linktree, which is linked to everything. You can find me here on Thursdays on Sword and Keys Twitch channel for Fraying Threads for the next few weeks. You could also find me, I'm trying to work out when this will be posted so it will be relevant information. You can also find me doing various assorted one-shots, including a Pride one-shot with Nerds with Dice later this month. And more coming up in July and August that will be posted on Twitter.
Hell yeah. And I'm Mary. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. By the time this airs, we'll just have the finale left. So join us the following Thursday for the finale of Fraying Threads. And on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, you can find me here on Sword and Key, playing your Soul Knife, Rogue, Star, Druid, Centaur, Acacia in our Horizons Call Nautical campaign. And on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern, you can find me on Neon Lights Roleplay, where I run a game of Printweaver, a Souls-like Gothic game where I have made my players cry in more episodes than not. Also, just keep an eye on my Twitter. None of them are announced yet, but I will be in a couple upcoming charity games in June and July for Pride. Also, happy Pride, everybody. Also, just check out the Twitter in general. We have a couple horror games running on the channel in June and July. Check those out, and we will see y'all soon. Bye.